and just being in Tampa right now?
Oh yeah, definitely. The weather is definitely a subject that's talked about a lot around here, big time, because especially playing, up north for my first 9 seasons, people that have played, guys that have played down here throughout their whole career, they always talk about what's the weather like up there? What's it like in December? What does it feel like to be down here right now? So there's always conversations like that. And let me tell you this, like today was only like 50 and it's weird because it's chilly to me now. Like my blood has thinned out. I think so, with training camp, 100 degrees every day, about 80 degrees every day. And now finally it's a little chilly and I'm like, yo, it's cold out there, yo. And I was wearing like a beanie and everything. I was getting extra long sleeves. So that's how I feel about it now. But it gets chilly in the 50s, but it feels good. And you can't beat this weather. You can't beat football weather down here right now. I mean, 50 degrees, 60 degrees is great football weather for sure.
Is it too cool to have Tom take you out on that new boat that he just
oh yeah, I saw that new boat that he's got. It's just a little bit too cold, so I'll let him go out by himself right now. But when it warms back up and his boat's missing, you know who it was.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, we'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Rob, you guys were dominant enough in New England where you didn't always have a whole lot to play for in December, maybe seeding, maybe a first-round bye or something. How different is this to need to win in December just to get into the playoffs, and how big of a motivation is that for you?
December football is always huge, no matter what the situation is. You're always playing for something, I believe, big time. If you're a playoff team, if you're not a playoff team, I would say the only time when it really doesn't matter is when the seeding is like truly set, which that is definitely not the case at all. And these games are crucial. These games are playoff games, big time. If we want to get to the playoffs, we got to win these games. We got to win this week. And it just starts with one game at a time, and it starts with one day at a time. You can't look ahead of yourself. We got to have good practices. We got to know what we're doing. We got to prepare well. And it's basically playoffs every single week right now.
Thanks, Rob.
Yep.
All right, we're going to go to Jenna Lane.
Rob, I've got questions. You said that if Tom's boat goes missing, that we know who did it. Are we sure that it wasn't you that was responsible for his runaway jet skis when that tropical storm hit? Was it really the storm?
Yeah, it was the storm. It was that time.
Okay. All right. Well,
next time it won't be. It'll be a storm of myself.
Does he let you borrow his water toys?
He should. During football season, you don't really get to that type of stuff. I mean, we're always really busy, but in the off season, I'm definitely going to be using them.
That's good. Yeah. Well,
I'm not even asking. I'm just taking them.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you've been friends for such a long time, right?
Yes.
Well, on a more serious note, now that you have had some time, a little bit of a break away from football and everything, what sticks out to you as far as you guys' performances and offense, through these first several games of the season, and what can you improve on going forward to get things really heading in the right direction?
Yes. I mean, we've had our up and downs, throughout the year. It's always better to have your ups, of course, but it's football. You're going to always have downs, throughout the weeks. It's a very competitive league, big time. So we just got to stick together. That's what we got to do. And we got to focus on the details. And there's a lot of plays I feel like that we could take more advantage of and go out there and take advantage of those plays, because in order to win some games that we haven't won, you got to make more plays than the opponent. And in those cases, we got to go out there, and the plays that we didn't make, we got to find a way that we can go out there and make those plays so we can win close games and win big games that will be coming up.
All right, we're going to go over to Joey Knight.
Rob, Coach has kind of commended you guys for not letting the virus derail your season to this point, just the way you guys are observing the protocols. How difficult was the bye week, just in terms of your limitations? What were you able to do or not do?
I mean, obviously, the bye week was a little different. I mean, we weren't allowed to leave the city, travel or anything, fly. And in previous years, I would say for a lot of players and definitely myself, you fly out, you go see your family, you go on a little vacation, you do what you got to do. But I mean, we knew what the case was going into the bye week. We know what this season brings due to COVID. So it was no big deal. We had to stay here. We had to get tested every week. It was just nice, to get away from football. I love the game of football, but it's always good to get away a little bit, refresh your mind. I mean, obviously couldn't get away too far, but it was just good to get the rest, watch some movies and stuff, hang with the family. There wasn't too much you can really do because of the restrictions and everything. But overall, it was just a nice time to relax and get some good food.
All right, we have time for a few more. We're going to go over to Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Rob. I know I heard you mic'd up during training camp saying that you're probably projecting yourself to have maybe 400 yards of receiving offense this year. You're exceeded that already. How would you assess where your game is right now, and how well do you feel more than halfway through the season?
I think I remember that. That was when Shady was talking to me about how many yards I would have if he was quarterback. So I said about 400. So I'm glad I surpassed that then with Tom as the quarterback. But I mean, the season has definitely, been a football season. Has its up and downs for my level of play. There's some weeks better than other weeks, but I just feel like overall, I'm just trying to get better every single week and trying to improve every single week. Learn my knowledge of the playbook, improve my knowledge of that, improve my skill set, and go out there and gain the trust and the coaches and my teammates more and more every single week. And I feel like I just got a lot to show still, throughout the next couple of weeks, and can just keep on improving, just try to keep on improving every week out at practice and go out there and put strong performances out in the games.
Are you surprised at all the criticism that some former NFL players are throwing at Brady, saying really this offense doesn't fit him? You know Brady better than anybody. What are you seeing out there with Tom?
I'm not really surprised with the criticism. I mean, and when you lose games, I mean, that's what happens. It's always been like that throughout my career. But Tom's doing a great job, throughout the practices every single week. In the games too. We just got to go out there and just as a unit, we just got to improve, including myself. And we just got to go out there and we got to just connect the dots, and we got to go out there and make more plays that we have been.
All right, we have time for a few more. We're going to go to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Rob, how dangerous is this Vikings team that, started the year 1-5 and now they're just right in the thick of it? So when you face a team that maybe had been counted out early and now they seem to have sort of found some footing and momentum, how dangerous is a team like that in December?
Yes, I mean, it could be a very, dangerous team coming into December. They got a lot of momentum going for them right now, big time. And having momentum is huge in the NFL. So we got to be on top of our game, big time, offensively, defensively. They got a lot of talent all over the place. And like I said earlier, this is basically a playoff game. Coach has been emphasizing that to us big time. This is basically the start of the playoffs for us. Because if we do want to go to the playoffs, we got to win, and we got to take one game at a time. And we got a very good Vikings defense, very good Vikings team overall that have been playing very well together lately. So we got to go out there and we got to give our best performance week in and week out, especially this week.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you, guys.